Art met computer security on Monday night in San Francisco's trendy and techy South of Market district. On the eve of the RSA conference, the Varnish Gallery unveiled an exhibit called Infected Art. It's a collection of images created from the code of various viruses, worms, spam, and other malware. An algorithm was designed by a Cambridge, Massachusetts-based computer artist who analyzed the patterns in code and represented them digitally.
Message Labs provided me with data files of computer viruses and other internet malwares, and I created a computer program that looks for patterns and rhythms in these data files and takes those attributes and connects them to an algorithm that grows these 3D creatures.
So you might call Alex's art medium computer code. He's not creating this art with a brush and canvas. In fact, after he writes the code, the computer does the rest.
What's really interesting about the process for this project was that I never really had any manual intervention on these shapes. My interventions were through computer code and how I mapped the data to the algorithm. So in a way, my technique is very experimental. It takes a lot of iterations. Sometimes I'm very surprised of what I find in the morning when the computer runs at night and sort of parses the data and transforms these into 3D images.
The works were commissioned by security vendor Message Labs, which came up with the idea about 6 months ago to give the public a visual image of what the company makes its business fighting. The mounted works at Varnish aren't for sale, but Message Labs will use the images on posters and ads.
So this image represents Netsky, one of the top viruses nowadays, one of the top email worms, in fact. Netsky was discovered quite a long time ago, on the 21st of March 2004, and yet even nowadays it still tops as the first email mass mailing worm out there. So Netsky, as you can see, has a number of these curly tentacles, and that's what at least on the image. So the next image is quite interesting because it's the same Netsky, just infected with a file infector virus called Parite.
When Message Labs sent Alex the data, he wasn't worried because uncompiled versions of the code were used, so there was no danger of infection. But one time he couldn't find one of the files, so he used his antivirus software to track it down on his computer. For the IDG News Service, I'm Nick Barber in Boston, with reporting by Stephen Lawson in San Francisco.